What if Sister Location's timeline isn't as complicated as we've all thought? Could the truth be hiding in plain sight? If you've ever been puzzled by the timeline of Sister Location in the FNAF universe, you're not alone. There's so much speculation and mystery surrounding when exactly this game fits into the story, and we're about to simplify it once and for all. In today's video, I'll break down the key clues that reveal where Sister Location truly belongs in the timeline, and why it might be simpler than you think. Stick around to see how everything connects. Before we jump in, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth FNAF theories. Let's get started. The story of Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location is one of the most intricate and captivating narratives in the FNAF universe, filled with twists, mysteries, and shocking revelations that have kept fans guessing for years. It introduces new lore, characters, and settings while expanding on the ongoing mysteries of the FNAF world. Here's a deep dive into the game's plot, its connections to the rest of the series, and the important details that have kept fans engaged. The teaser and announcement. The journey of Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location began with a teaser image posted on Scott Cawthon's website, scottgames.com, on February 18, 2016. Over the following weeks, the image was gradually updated, revealing cryptic clues about what was to come. On April 23, 2016, the fifth installment of the FNAF series was officially announced. The announcement shocked many fans who believed that FNAF 4 had marked the end of the series. Scott Cawthon had even stated that the FNAF saga would come to a close after FNAF 4. However, the release of Sister Location proved otherwise, introducing a new chapter in the expansive and ever-evolving lore of the FNAF universe. The concept of a Sister Location. The central mystery surrounding Sister Location revolved around a question that had lingered in the minds of fans since the third game. What was the Sister Location mentioned in the FNAF 3 training tapes? In FNAF 3, the character of Phone Guy, later revealed to be named Ralph, refers to a Sister Location, but it wasn't clear what that meant at the time. The concept of the Sister Location was tied to the spring lock suits used in the earlier FNAF games. These suits were designed to serve a dual purpose. They could function both as animatronic suits and as wearable suits for humans. However, these spring lock suits were dangerous. If they malfunctioned, they could snap inward and crush the person inside. In FNAF 3, Phone Guy briefly mentions a Sister Location, but no further details were provided. When Sister Location was revealed, it became clear that the term Sister Location referred to a new establishment, Circus Baby's Pizza World. This was a sister company to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the central location in the first 4 FNAF games. Although Circus Baby's Pizza World was a new setting, it was closely tied to the events of the earlier games, further tying the larger FNAF narrative together. Circus Baby's Pizza World and Entertainment and Rentals. When fans first heard about Sister Location, they expected the game to take place inside Circus Baby's Pizza World. However, as the story unfolded, it became apparent that the game's events took place primarily in the underground facility known as Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals. Circus Baby's Pizza World had been closed for years by the time the events of the game occurred. The restaurant had been open only for a single day before it shut down due to the tragic death of Elizabeth Afton, the daughter of William Afton. Elizabeth had been trapped inside the animatronic Circus Baby, which led to the establishment's abrupt closure. This provided fans with new insight into the timeline of the FNAF universe. The game also introduced the concept of entertainment and rentals, a new Fazbear facility created after the closure of Pizza World. The purpose of entertainment and rentals was to house and rent animatronics for private parties, including Circus Baby and her counterparts, the Funtime animatronics. The timeline of events. The timeline of events surrounding Circus Baby's Pizza World and Entertainment and Rentals is a source of ongoing debate within the FNAF community. Based on the tragic events surrounding Elizabeth Afton, It is clear that Pizza World's operation occurred before the Missing Children's Incident, MCI, which is believed to have taken place in 1985. Some fans speculate that Pizza World may have opened as early as 1983 and closed shortly before the MCI. Following the closure of Pizza World, the entertainment and rentals facility was founded to house animatronics like Circus Baby and Funtime Freddy. This shift in focus from a restaurant to a rental service marked a significant change in the world of FNAF, paving the way for the events of Sister Location. Michael Afton, the protagonist. One of the most important aspects of Sister Location is the introduction of Michael Afton as the protagonist. Michael Afton, a character who has appeared in previous FNAF games, plays a central role in the plot of Sister Location. Michael's journey through the underground facility at entertainment and rentals is a crucial part of the story. At the start of the game, Michael is employed by the facility and is tasked with completing a series of increasingly dangerous tasks. The tasks often involve him interacting with the malfunctioning animatronics, and he must navigate the treacherous environment of the underground facility. One of the first tasks he is given is to wear a spring lock suit, which immediately ties the game to the events of earlier FNAF titles, Spring Lock Suits, and the legacy of William Afton. A major connection between Sister Location and the earlier FNAF games is the use of spring lock suits. These suits were a central part of the story in FNAF 3 and FNAF 4, as they were responsible for the deaths of several characters, including William Afton himself. In Sister Location, Michael Afton finds himself inside a spring lock suit. Circus Baby, one of the animatronics in the game, warns Michael that the spring locks could fail if they are not properly maintained. This creates an intense atmosphere of tension and suspense, as players are aware of the dangerous consequences if the suit malfunctions. Circus Baby also reveals that the spring lock suits were never used in Circus Baby's Pizza World due to their inherent danger, leading to their eventual retirement. The connection between the spring lock suits and the tragic fate of William Afton is made even clearer in Sister Location. William Afton's death was caused by a spring lock failure, an event that further ties his legacy to the animatronics and the twisted events that followed. The Funtime animatronics. After the closure of Circus Baby's Pizza World, the story of Sister Location introduces a new set of animatronics, the Funtime animatronics. These advanced machines, including Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Ballora, and Circus Baby herself, are designed to be more sophisticated and complex than the previous generation of animatronics. However, these new animatronics come with their dark secrets. They are revealed to be haunted by the souls of children, and their programming is twisted by the influence of the Afton family. As Michael works his way through the facility, he encounters these animatronics, each with its horrifying personality and intentions. The darker truths of the FNAF universe are explored further as Michael learns more about his father, William Afton, and his role in the creation of the animatronics. Michael's journey is one of self-discovery, as he uncovers the truth about his family's legacy and the horrifying legacy of Fazbear Entertainment, the creation of Ennard. The climax of Sister Location reveals the ultimate fate of the animatronics. Circus Baby, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Ballora, and the other animatronics merge to form a new entity, Ennard. Ennard is a grotesque amalgamation of the various animatronics, and it forces Michael Afton into the terrifying role of its new host. Michael is tricked into entering the scooping room, where Ennard removes his internal organs and uses his body as a suit to escape the facility. This horrifying moment leaves Michael in a state of decay, but he does not die. Instead, he survives long enough for Ennard to leave him behind, stumbling out of the facility in a broken and deteriorating state. The legacy of Sister Location. 5 Nights at Freddy's. Sister Location was a pivotal installment in the FNAF series, introducing new characters, terrifying animatronics, and an unsettling exploration of the Afton family's twisted legacy. The game answered several long-held questions about the FNAF universe, while also raising new mysteries and fueling fan speculation. The complex narrative and rich lore of Sister Location solidified its place as one of the most important and enduring entries in the FNAF series. It expanded the FNAF universe in meaningful ways, offering new insights into the Afton family, the animatronics, and the horrific events that have defined the series. The haunting story of Michael Afton and the creation of Ennard continues to captivate fans and keep them engaged in the ongoing mystery of Five Nights at Freddy's. Surviving the impossible, Michael's journey and the remnant theory. In the complex world of Five Nights at Freddy's, FNAF, understanding the timelines and events can be challenging, particularly when it comes to Michael Afton's survival. A fan theory suggests that Michael survives numerous deadly encounters because of remnant, a liquid metal substance with healing properties that plays a significant role throughout the series. Remnant, often referred to as soul juice, is a critical aspect of several characters' endurance and ability to heal, making it an essential element in deciphering the FNAF timeline. The Odor theory. Mike and Fritz connection? One of the most discussed theories about Michael Afton's role in FNAF centers around his alleged firing due to the smell of death. In FNAF 1, Michael is fired for odor on night 7, and similarly, Fritz Smith in FNAF 2 is dismissed for the same reason. Many fans have used this parallel to argue that Michael is Fritz, suggesting that the two characters are the same. However, this theory is based largely on weak evidence, with the odor reason often seen as a humorous trolling mechanic. In Help Wanted, a reference to being fired for odor is portrayed as a playful in-joke for players who have conquered the hardest night. Additionally, since neither Mike nor Fritz interacts with anyone during their night shifts, the reason for their termination may be more of a narrative gimmick than a serious plot point. The timeline. Where does Sister Location fit in? The Five Nights at Freddy's timeline is a tricky puzzle, and placing Sister Location correctly within that timeline is a challenge. Sister Location introduces new animatronics, some of the most unpredictable and violent robots in the series. Their erratic behavior and destructive tendencies raise many questions about their origins. Initially, it was believed that the Funtime animatronics were possessed by the souls of children killed by the machines themselves. However, later games like Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator offered an alternative explanation. At the end of Sister Location, we see Michael Afton's corpse discarded by Ennard, the amalgamation of the Funtime animatronics. This raises the possibility that the Funtime animatronics were not only possessed by children's souls, but were also influenced by something much darker: remnant, a substance that ties together much of the FNAF lore. This leads to the theory that Sister Location takes place after FNAF 1 and before FNAF 3, which ties into later events in the franchise. Molten MCI theory, the origins of Molten Freddy. The Molten MCI theory proposes that the souls inside Molten Freddy are connected to the tragic events of the Missing Children Incident, MCI. The theory began to gain traction when fans noticed the design of Molten Freddy, particularly the one-eye glowing mask, which mirrors the bad ending from FNAF 3. The glowing eyes in the masks of the original animatronics signify the presence of the souls of the murdered children. This connection suggests that Molten Freddy could indeed be the manifestation of those same souls. The theory is further supported by the Silver Eyes trilogy, a non-canon set of books that align with the game's events. In the third book, The Fourth Closet, William Afton melts down the original animatronics to create a new, more dangerous entity, much like what we see with Molten Freddy in Pizzeria Simulator. This continuity between the books and the games strengthens the argument that Molten Freddy is indeed a reanimated form of the original animatronic souls, which have fused over time. The role of remnant. Transference between animatronics. In Pizzeria Simulator, we witness an important event involving the remnants of the original Freddy animatronics. A key feature in the game is a furnace in which the endoskeletons of the FNAF 1 animatronics are melted down to harvest remnant. This remnant injector is linked to the Funtime animatronics, suggesting that William Afton was using the substance to transfer the souls of the original animatronics into newer models. Remnants can be added to robots after their initial creation, as shown in the book The Fourth Closet, where William injects Remnant into Funtime Freddy, transforming him into a vessel for the souls of the dead. The timeline of events. Sister Location's placement. To understand the timeline of Sister Location, we must consider several key events. Michael Afton, in his quest to free the souls of the trapped children, speaks directly to his father, William, in a non-diegetic monologue. He mentions that his father sent him to the facility and implies that now that his sister and others are free, there's only one thing left to do. This monologue is accompanied by visuals of the burned-down Fazbear's Fright location from FNAF 3. This suggests that Michael is setting up for the events of FNAF 3. Given that William Afton is missing by this point in the story, it's clear that Michael's journey is leading directly into the events that unfold in Pizzeria Simulator. The presence of Springtrap at the end of FNAF 3 and the destruction of the Fazbear franchise in the aftermath confirm that Sister Location takes place after FNAF 1, but before FNAF 3, making it a crucial point in the overall timeline. William Afton's Descent into Madness, a proposed timeline. Now that we've pinned down the timeline of Sister Location, let's dive into the life of William Afton, the man at the center of the chaos in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe. It all starts back in the 1970s when William Afton and his business partner Henry Emily opened Fredbear's Family Diner. The diner was a cheerful, family-friendly spot with animatronic performers, and it marked the early days of what would eventually grow into Fazbear Entertainment. At first, it seemed like a simple venture focused on entertaining families, but things quickly took a dark turn. As their business expanded, William became obsessed with the animatronics. They weren't just machines to him. They were something more, something he could control and manipulate. This obsession drove him to experiment in dangerous ways. Over time, his jealousy of Henry grew. William felt overshadowed by his partner's success and creativity, and their relationship started to crack. The tension only worsened as William's experiments became more extreme, with tragic consequences for his own family. One of the defining moments of William's descent was the death of his son. His child was accidentally killed by one of Fredbear's animatronics during a performance. This single event broke him in ways no one could imagine. Instead of mourning and moving on, William spiraled into madness. He believed he could somehow recreate life, or even undo death, using the animatronics. This led to his horrifying decision to use the animatronics for darker purposes. He built spring lock suits which could function as both costumes and machines, allowing him to carry out unspeakable acts in secret. William began luring children to their deaths, believing their energy, or remnant, could power his creations. His actions ultimately led to the deaths of 5 children. Their souls, as the lore reveals, went on to possess the animatronics, turning them into the haunted, nightmarish characters we see in the games. William's story is a tragic, terrifying tale of how ambition and obsession can spiral out of control. From Fredbear's Family Diner to the horrors of Fazbear Entertainment, William Afton's legacy is one of pain, loss, and unrelenting darkness. A legacy that haunts the entire FNAF series. Elizabeth's death and Circus Baby's tragic fate. Sister Location tells a pretty dark and tragic story, especially when it comes to William Afton's daughter, Elizabeth. Elizabeth's story takes a terrible turn when she becomes fascinated by one of her father's creations, Circus Baby. Circus Baby wasn't just any animatronic. It was specifically designed by William to lure and harm children. Tragically, Elizabeth gets too close, and Circus Baby ends up killing her. But that's not the end of her story. After her death, Elizabeth's soul takes over Circus Baby, turning it into something more than just a machine. Circus Baby becomes a sentient being, aware of itself and the world. But this new life doesn't bring much hope. The animatronics in Circus Baby's pizza world, including her, are doomed. The place shuts down after only one day, and all the animatronics are moved to a dark, forgotten bunker. There, they're left to rust and fall apart, a sad reminder of what happened. You'd think losing his daughter might stop William, but it doesn't. If anything, it makes him even more obsessed. He keeps experimenting with the Funtime animatronics, tweaking their designs for his own twisted goals. Sister Location and later the Pizzeria Simulator show how far William is willing to go. Instead of stepping back, his experiments become darker and more dangerous, hurting even more people. Elizabeth's story is heartbreaking. She's a victim of her father's horrifying creations, and even in death, she's trapped in the world he built. It's a grim reminder of how dangerous William's obsession with animatronics and death really is. When it comes to the Five Nights at Freddy's story, Sister Location plays a huge role in piecing everything together. It connects the dots between the events of FNAF 1 and FNAF 3, giving us a closer look at Michael Afton's journey and his father William's dark and spiraling madness. Through Sister Location, we start to understand why Michael is doing what he's doing and how far William's twisted experiments go. A big part of the story revolves around Remnant and the Funtime animatronics. These creepy creations are more than just robots. They represent William's obsession with pushing the boundaries of life and death. And when you add the tragedy of the Afton family into the mix, it paints a haunting picture of the chaos and destruction William left behind. Sister Location shines a light on all of this, giving fans more to work with as they try to unravel the deeper mysteries. Even though the timeline isn't 100% clear, most signs point to Sister Location happening after FNAF 1, but before FNAF 3. It also sets the stage for what comes next in Pizzeria Simulator. It's like a puzzle piece that fits perfectly into the bigger picture of the FNAF universe. The lore of Five Nights at Freddy's is one of the reasons fans keep coming back. Sister Location adds layers of complexity, making the story even more gripping. And as new games and stories are released, fans continue to put the pieces together, keeping the mystery alive and ensuring this series remains unforgettable. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned for more FNAF theories. See you in the next video.